Well, good morning, Unity of Wichita. Good morning. Yay. Welcome to our Sunday morning experience. I am Patty Yoon. I will be your platform leader today. Our music will be by various artists. Our message will be by Samantha Jones. Our prayers by Art Handy. Our affirmations and meditations by Judith Huffman. And behind the scenes is helping us with our technology is Jessica. So let's give them all a hand. Yay! We are so blessed. Our greatest desire is that you inspired today by the music, the message, the meditation, and you are a blessing to us. And the power of the month is power, which is the power of dominion, which is the power to control, to dominate, to master, but it's also just the power to get things done. And I need that power a lot just to get her done. So, with that power of the month, let's say our mission statement on screen together. Inspiring spiritual transformation as a vibrant, diverse, and inclusive community. And with that same power of dominion, let's say our statement of being together. There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And we also want to welcome all the mothers today. It's happy Mother's Day to every single one of you. And all the mothers who are any kind of divine feminine, who are loving the world with your feminine strengths, we are blessed by you. Happy Mother's Day. Fantastic. We also want to welcome all of you who are watching here today, who are connected here today, especially if you're here for the very first time. We are honored to have you join us, and we hope that you are blessed by today's service. And we hope that we get to see you in person soon. In fact, very soon we will all be together in person very soon. Unity is a worldwide ministry dedicated to the ongoing awareness of the Spirit within all. We invite you to consider our teachings. If they work for you, fit into your life, wherever you may be on your spiritual journey, just take what works for you and gently release the rest. We will now bless everyone who is watching. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you, just as you are. Blessings.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day. As we ready ourselves for a moment of pause, a moment of prayer, there's a few folks in our spiritual community that I would lovingly ask that we hold in our prayers. The first one would be Edith Knox. I had a chance to speak with Edith earlier this week about her daughter, Suzette, who is in California. And Suzette is suffering with cancer. And from the sense that I got from Edith, Suzette is in grave condition. And to know that is one hurt on Edith's heart. But the other hurt is that Suzette is in California and Edith is here in Wichita. And because of her age and her health, she's unable to travel to be with her daughter. You could imagine being a mother in that kind of situation, you would want to be near your daughter. So let's hold Suzette and Edith in our prayers. We also are thinking about Erica Lilly this morning. Erica's mom, Gay, just received a cancer diagnosis. And so they are seeking out a second opinion on that. So we want to make sure that we hold Gay and Erica and their family in our prayers. And finally, Dan Heitman. As most of us know, Dan is, and we are mourning the loss of his wife, Janet. Dan is in Fort Collins, Colorado right now, and he'll be there for the next several weeks because he's staying with his daughter, Amy, and he's going to be having knee surgery at some point. And so he's got to period of therapy and recovery to go through after that, all while still grieving. So continue to hold Dan and his family in your prayers. So now we'll just take a brief moment to settle ourselves and center within our center and behold the presence of the divine, present in its fullness, present as the divine feminine. We know and affirm that the loving, nurturing, wise presence of the divine feminine is a unique and particular flowing forth of God. We know that everything comes into being through the divine feminine. And on this day, this Mother's Day, we honor the divine feminine. We honor all women who are mothers. We honor all women who are mothers, and all women are mothers. And we honor all the ways in which the divine feminine expresses itself. It nurtures us. It strengthens us. It loves us into being. And we are so grateful. We are so grateful. We hold our spiritual community, Unity of Wichita, and the light in each and every person who is connected to this community. For Erica's mom, Gay. For Edith's daughter, Suzette. We affirm God's presence right where they are as a healing flow that comforts, that reassures. For Dan Heitman, we know the presence of God as that same healing flow that holds his grieving heart and the hearts of his family. We see the divine flow everywhere, and we know that all beings are expressors of this flow. All beings come into being by way of the divine feminine. So we celebrate this divine feminine, we hold it in the light, and we are so grateful to be alive, grateful to express our God nature, grateful to interact with other sacred beings, grateful in this moment and moment to moment. And in the name and in the nature of the Christ that we all are, we are so grateful. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
She lost her mama early, daddy married soon again, to an angel knocking on her heart, saying, please just let me in. But she was scared that she'd betray the one who gave her birth. So daddy held her close and said, this mama's here on earth. Let her love you. Let her open up the gates. Let her love you. Do it now, no need to wait. She's got so much to give you. She's just waiting on a yes. Open and receive. Let her do what she does best. Let her love you. Let her love you. A woman longed for daughters, but life brought her a son. And even though he married years she kept her distance, till one day she got a call. You know my wife adores you. Please let down your walls. Let her love you. Let her open up the gates. Let her love you. Do it now, no need to wait. She's got so much to give you. She's just waiting on a yes. Open and receive. Let her do what she does best. Let her love you. Let her love you. And I can't help but think of something bigger, a greater love we might be running from. Could this be a message from the one who makes our heart beat, going out to every daughter, every son? Let me love you. Let me open up the gates. Let me love you. Do it now, no need to wait. I've got so much to give you in this life and the next. Open and receive. Let me do what I do best. Let me love you. Let me love you. Let me love you.
And let me love you. As we take this time now to come apart, to separate ourselves from the outer concerns and to move deep within to the very heart of our being, and to experience for a time the creative energy of the divine feminine. I would ask you to open your hands, and into your hands allow a ball of clay to fall. And during this time of meditation, you have this ball of clay. You are the creator. Create what you will. The divine feminine is a creative energy. It brings forth new life, filling that life with love, with energy, with compassion. So as you take your clay, create something that is expression of your divine, the divine of who you are. The divine feminine is a strong energy. It is present in all of us. We are all creators. We create new relationships, new enterprises, new spaces, new organizations, new things of all kinds. Not only creating of life. And into our creations, we pour our love, energy, our time, and our commitment. Sometimes we feel like we fall short. We haven't done all that we wanted to do. We haven't met all of our goals to be more loving, more nurturing, more compassionate. And yet, in the very heart of us, there's that pull, that draw to be more, to give more, to create more, to nurture more. We've not always, all of us, done our best, but each moment we have the opportunity to make a choice, to change, to create anew, to forgive the past, and create something more beautiful. To create new relationships, new dreams, new hopes, new aspirations. We are the divine creators. And as we create, one of the beautiful things that we can always create is love, the most precious gift of all. The love of the divine feminine that fills each heart with joy and happiness. And as creators, we are expression of God's love. We express that love throughout all of the world, our immediate world, and the world at large. We are the divine creators. We can create amazing things. We can transform the world. So as you create your ball, put in all of your love and all of your energy and create something that is an expression of your heart, of the divine feminine that is within you. And there are many beautiful songs about Mother's Day, but I wanted to share this one I found with you, A Mother's Love by Mark Masri. Thank you for watching over me all the sleepless nights you lay awake. Thank you for knowing when to hold me close and when to let me go. You gave me roots to start my life, and then you gave me wings to fly, and I learned to dream because you believed in me. There's no power like it on this earth, no treasure equal to its worth, the gift of mother's love. Thank you for every sunlit day that filled the corners of my memory, and thank you for every selfless, unsung deed I know you did for me. Thank you for giving me the choice to search my soul till I could find my voice. I thank you for teaching me to be strong enough to bend. You gave me the roots to start my life, and then you gave me wings to fly. I learned to dream because you believed in me. There is no power like it on this earth, no treasure equal to its worth, the gift of a mother's love. There is no gift greater than love, the gift we all can give to the world and to ourselves. We are the divine creators of heaven on earth. We are the divine creators of heaven on earth. Allow that to be who you are. And very gently now, holding that beautiful creation in your hand, awaken to this present moment and affirm with me the following affirmations. We are the divine creators of heaven on earth. We are the divine creators of heaven on earth. We are the expression of God's love. We are the expression of God's love. We are enough. We are enough. And so it is.
In my mother's house, there are flowers, fountains, and gold. In my mother's house, there is every fairy tale ever told. In my mother's house, there is beauty in the sudden summer storm. In my mother's house, there is love in all its wonder taking form. In my mother's house are fields of plenty. In the fall, it's like they're all on fire. In my mother's house, there are soft beds to rest on when you're tired. In my mother's house, the winters are quiet. In the silence, hear the falling snow. In my mother's house, there's a time to arrive and a time to go. My mother's house are ancient trees, baby birds in the nest. In my mother's house, there's a time together and a time to rest. In my mother's house are hunters and hurricanes, and everything can die. In my mother's house, there is heartbreak waiting, and no one really knows why. In my mother's house, there is beauty breaking in the storm. In my mother's house, there is love in all its wonder taking form.
Good morning and happy Mother's Day, everyone. I'm so glad that we're here together for Mother's Day. And, you know, that song, My Mother's House, it made my heart so happy because it was so encompassing of the experience that we have with our mothers and with our children, and even with those nieces and nephews that we are playing the mother role to. There's this full scope of experience. And that's why when this title came up, my first country, that came from a poem that was created by this young woman. She's a young African-American poet who is deemed the most famous Instagram poet. So you may or may not have heard of her, but her name is Naraya Waheed. And she's written this beautiful book. It's quite bright and cheerful. And while she didn't get great critical acclaim for this book because her poetry breaks the rules, which I kind of like rebels, but It's powerful in its simplicity. And this title, My First Country, came from her poem. My mother was my first country, the first place I ever lived. The first place I ever lived. And when I heard that, I kind of had to take a beat, and I thought, wow, that is the first place I ever lived, was within my mother, within her conscious awareness. The moment she knew of me being in existence in even the smallest form, I began living there. And it's exciting to me that we can, each one of us, celebrate the country of our origin. For each one of us has a country of our origin. Now, we may be refugees. We may be fleeing our country. We may be having a whole different experience than some of the patriots, some of the people who have these beautiful relationships with their country. And that is what makes Mother's Day a very unique and challenging Sunday to discuss, because there is such a wide range of experience for Mother's Day. So as we continue exploring, I want to ask, what is a country? The definition of a country is a nation with its own government occupying a particular territory. So if there's this government, then we know that there's the fiduciary, right? This part of the government that is teaching values. So these values that our mothers, our first countries, instilled within us, the value of time, energy, experience, the value of where we expend our resources. She also taught us the humanitarian aspect of government as well, didn't she? How to be good humans. How to live, love, and experience life with other humans. That's a powerful thing in and of itself that our mothers impart upon us, whether it be our birth mother, our adopted mother, or even, as the song suggested, our stepmom, our new mom, after the loss of our birth mom. There's also the judicial, that demonstration of discernment and wisdom. As I was preparing for this Sunday, I sent out a call on social media, and I said, what does it mean to be a mom? And when you think of your mom, what comes to mind? Now, I'm friends with several of you on social media, but I have to tell you that I have just a wonderful group of people in my awareness, and I got the most beautiful responses. Some were of unconditional love and creation. Others were that what it means to be a mom is to teach my child to live without me. That one got me when I thought of my son and him not being with me. And I thought, that's Mother's Day. And there was this really poignant message that was sent that said, the part a mom plays in our lives is great, no matter the duration. She is responsible for our very existence and for many of our wounds, even before we take our first breath. That's a powerful statement of awareness. the kind of power that we have as human beings creating life. And of course, we know that the divine feminine is that aspect of Divine Mother that we all hold in our inner being, in our expression. And often we have to discern when we're going to be expressing the divine feminine versus the divine masculine. And so I thought, I wonder what we would be thinking if we just drew our information from scripture. And one of the most popular scriptures about Mother's Day and about mothers in general is probably very familiar to you. It's Proverbs 31, and its strength and dignity are her clothing. And she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her happy. Now, I have to admit that the experience of Mother's Day is traditionally celebrating that vision of the mother. This vision of the most nurturing, most whole understanding of what love is, of what absolute acceptance is. And in my research, I discovered, as I imagined, that there are so many people that Mother's Day is a trigger to the loss of a child, a trigger to the loss of their mother, a trigger perhaps of the mother that they had that was not in alignment with that beautiful description. So what is it that we do? We do have that choice of moving through this day and pressing forward as if it weren't even an experience. But then we know that we can take this moment to, as Judith so beautifully spoke, to forgive. To forgive our mothers for the mistakes they made, and to forgive ourselves as mothers for the mistakes that we make. To love the creative force in our lives that brought us into being. With this experience, I want to return to Nuraya Waheed. She, as I said, has a beautiful way of painting the world in simplicity. And as I explored this shadow aspect of Mother's Day, this poem came into my awareness. Cruel mothers are still mothers. They make us wars. They make us revolution. They teach us the truth early. Mothers are humans who sometimes give birth to their pain instead of their children. And that experience of motherhood was on full display with so many people who shared their Mother's Day story with me. It's not to say that they don't love their mothers or appreciate their mothers or know the sacrifice of body, spirit, energy, and income that their mothers made. but they are keenly aware of the depth of discomfort that they've experienced. And so what do we do with this day? We can spiritually bypass and just say, everything's great, move on to Monday, and I don't have to worry about mothers. Or we can make this a moment to celebrate that I am here, that you are here because of the sacrifice that our mothers made. I thought of this poem as I explored even more about what is it that Myrtle Fillmore would say, the mother of unity. She is, of course, the co-founder of the spiritual movement known as Unity. And she has this beautiful statement. She wrote letters. And these letters are archived at Unity Village and shared in several books. And one of them is on maternity, to women who are getting ready to birth children. And I love that it is applicable to the process of experiencing motherhood, as well as being in the moment of forgiving and healing through your life. She says, God is love. The divine love harmonizes and strengthens, enfolds, heals, and protects you. God in the midst of you is a tower of strength and stability. God is the health of his people, and he is your strength and health. Now, of course, I love Myrtle. And I love Charles, and I love this beautiful understanding of our relationship to the divine presence within us that they have allowed us to explore in their wisdom. And I also am keenly aware of the fact that we can shift this language slightly and allow it to speak to us even more fully. To say love, divine love, harmonizes and strengthens, enfolds, heals, and protects me and you. Love in the midst of me is a tower of strength and stability. Love is the health of me. Love is my strength and my health. And to move that even further into the understanding of realizing the roles that our mothers and we as mothers play in this developing expression of life, we can speak even further into that. The divine mother is love. The divine mother harmonizes and strengthens, enfolds, heals, and protects. The divine mother in the midst of us is a tower of strength and stability. The divine mother is my strength and my health. It becomes something of an ability to understand and accept the humanness of our mothers and of ourselves as mothers. I spoke to some people who were sharing that they had lost children and that this was such a difficult day because they longed for their children that are gone. And then, of course, there's the question, was I a good enough mother? Did I do my job? I can certainly tell you that being a mother to a 6-year-old boy right now in the world of pandemics and TV and video games and all that entails, that question comes up often. Am I doing the right thing? And because my son is an avid and passionate basketball player at 6, 10-foot goals, people, I decided I had to do a little more research, and I found the UCLA basketball coach, John Wooden. And he has a definition of what success is. Success is the peace of mind, which is a direct result of the self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best that you're capable of becoming. And I have to believe, and actually just do believe, that definition of success, the peace of mind knowing that you did your best, is applicable to motherhood, daughterhood, sonship, being the best that you can be in this human experience with your creative forces in your life, your mothers. Being the best mother that you can be. Even if you've lost your children, you're still their mother. You're still holding their vision. You're still sharing their life. Being the best mother that you can be to your adult children who are exploring parenthood on their own. Being the best you can be of that mentor, friend, teacher that is so powerfully present in the lives of those whom you interact with. That expression of the divine feminine. Being the best that you can be in that expression brings us to a full ability to not only be in the depths of motherhood on Mother's Day, but to be in the depths of forgiveness, wholeness, and total acceptance of the creative force that is the divine feminine. So our first countries, the first places we ever lived, hold them in your hearts today and know that all is well. And so it is.
Thank you, Samantha. Wow, that was a blessing. And we are all blessed by your divine wisdom, your feminine divine wisdom, and we are blessed. Thank you. And if you are inspired to share your tithe and donations today, you can go to our website for secure financial gift at www.unityofwichita.org/donations, or send a check directly to the church at Unity of Wichita, 2160 North Oliver, Wichita, Kansas 67208, or you can bring it directly to the church during regular business hours. The link will also be in the chat box that you can share. So with the blessings that we have received this morning, if you are inspired to give, just hold that in your heart. Visualize your electronic tithe. And let's say together our offering blessing. Divine love flowing from me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful. Amen.
Thank you, Patty. So, as we move into our announcements this morning, let's discuss really quickly the Refresh Project. Okay. I saw this morning, I know that the contractors were there and they were working through the weekend. We are ready to paint. So if you have been holding out for that moment, you said, I don't know how to do a lot of things, but I can run a roller. Now's your week. This is your time to come. So Mondays, 10 a.m. to noon, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to noon, and Thursday, 1 to 3, we are in the Refresh Project. If you need to come at a different time and would like to contribute your time and energy into that space, please reach out to us. You can call Jessica at the office. You can text me. You can email. However it works for you, reach out to us because June the 6th is not far away. I'm so excited for you guys. So our next slide is talking about the garden group, which is usually on Tuesday mornings. Now that group is sort of happening and sort of not. So if you would like to work in the garden on Tuesday morning, feel free. But we are to a point of painting this week as well. And so our final announcement this morning is the next slide. The prayer chaplain training is coming up. We will continue the wellness training this Saturday, the 15th. So if you took the prayer chaplain training, you'll look for an email from me this week. So let's talk about our youth department. They did such a beautiful meditation this morning as I sat there eating my breakfast and Nevin was on the call next to me in their meditation. And it was so perfect. I love that my 6-year-old knows how to meditate and it's not just his mom making him do it. So let's hold the youth department in our hearts and minds and vision as we bless them now. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you, just as you are. And finally, we will join in our prayer of protection together and set our intention for peace on this Mother's Day. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so in this moment right now, we're going to take a deep breath and hold the vision of peace that we wish to see in this world, in our families, in our hearts, and in our consciousness. And as we let that go, we claim with power, passion, and presence, I am where peace begins. I am where peace begins. And so it is. And so it is.